been working on AI safety for 2 decades at least.
Yeah. I was convinced we can make safe AI, but the more I looked at it, the more I realized it's not something we can actually do.
You have made a series of predictions about a variety of different dates. So what is your prediction for 2027?
Dr. Roman Yampolsky is a globally recognized voice on AI safety and associate professor of computer science.
He educates people on the terrifying truth of AI
and what we need to do to save humanity.
In 2 years, the capability to replace most humans in most occupations will come very quickly. I mean, in 5 years, we're looking at a world where we have levels of unemployment we've never seen before. Not talking about 10%, but 99%. And that's without superintelligence, a system smarter than all humans in all domains. So it would be better than us at making new AI. But it's worse than that. We don't know how to make them safe. And yet we still have the smartest people in the world competing to win the race to superintelligence.
But what do you make of people like Sam Altman's journey with AI?
So a decade ago, we published guardrails for how to do AI right. They violated every single one. And he's gambling 8 billion lives on getting richer and more powerful. So I guess some people want to go to Mars, others want to control the universe. But it doesn't matter who builds it. The moment you switch to superintelligence, we will most likely regret it terribly.
And then...
Shalom, Kohalayim La, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Osadaban Stills of GMS, Nanasu Akim. Peace and bless your brothers and sisters. Listen, the Church of the Firstborn, hopeful elect, Kohalayim La, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. And, it's funny, I was going to do this video a couple of weeks back. I seen an elder do it. Funny that came out thought at the same time to do this video on AI, that the new digital Tower of Babel, but it slipped my mind until I saw this video. I look at this guy's channel here and there, Diary of a CEO. I see one of his latest videos. I was looking through it. This computer scientist, engineer, professor, Dr. Roman, he was speaking to him, and he was saying that AI, could lead the end of humanity, man. And that this technology is, rapidly, evolving at a rate that they never thought was even possible, man. Okay. And he's saying that the majority of jobs by 2027, 2030 will be obsolete, man. And how this is going to lead to a global collapse and hell, even World War III, man. Right. And he was pretty much going on when I, looked at more of the video, how of these technocrats, they don't give a shit about morality, man, or safety, which a lot of these guys are part of the Trump administration in the background. Right? We told you MAGA idiots that, man. So he's pretty much saying this is the world, the new world from here on out, man. And pretty much how this technology is going to be unstoppable. We can see how things is turning right now. It's really hard to see, define what's real and what's not, man. Right? Artificial intelligence. This is the left hand of Yahweh Bashim Shah. This is Aisha and his false miracles, man, that he's deceiving the world with. Right? And this is pretty much the like we go into the image of the beast, right? Is this idol, right? That everyone that eventually, if they want to remain a part of the system, you don't have to buy into it. Right. And we went into videos on this before on the whole fourth industrial revolution. Part of the fourth industrial revolution, according to Klaus Schwab, is man and machine becoming one. Right. That's the way mankind is going to evolve. And if you don't mix with machine, aka those implantable devices, you'll be left behind. Right. And AI, artificial intelligence, this is the new Tower of Babel. He feels that he is the Most High now, especially with all these supercomputers, man. Right? You have even, I'm going to get some articles out, man. This is the new Tower of Babel, man. And we know the Tower of Babel, we all know that Genesis 11 chapter, Nimrod tried to bring everybody together to build a tower to reach the heavens. And Yahweh Bashim Shah sent the angels down to confound their languages. Right? Because that was never his intent, for humanity or mankind to become one. And that's the whole NWO. And how they unifying is through this artificial intelligence, man. All right, aka the beast system, which we went into the 2030 agenda. You brothers and sisters that listen already, we went into this stuff, man. right? But you know, we have to go into things over and over again. This is a part of this technocracy, okay, that iShaw is bringing out, man. Like we always go into the social credit score, the carbon footprint, universal basic income, more juices, right? Robot workforce, Internet of Things, micro C-hips, okay, drones, facial recognition. You will own nothing and you will be happy, man. And you, of course, you had Yuval Noah, who was one of the understudies of Klaus Schwab. He's supposed to be one of the data scientists or whatever. He said that AI would write the new Bible, right? Yuval Noah. You said this, man. Okay, and this is iShaw, man. Right? You even have these nations. Matter of fact, let's read this article, though. Don't want to rant too much. Right? Let's just read. I want to read this article here. See if I can get it. I'm going to read 3 articles, I think. Right here. It says, The Digital Tower of Babel, Generative AI and the Future of Unified Human Potential. And this is how iShaw promotes everything, man. As Scripture says, he transgressive by wine of philosophy. And you got these other nations, they're also buying into that as well. We get that in a minute. It says, let's read. I'm not going to read the whole thing. All right. It says, generative AI also holds the promise of a new era of creativity by providing tools that can generate art, music, literature, and more. AI could democratize the creative process, allowing anyone with an idea to bring it to life. This could lead to explosion of cultural diversity, innovation, and people from all backgrounds contribute to the global tapestry of human expression. So they're saying through music, art, right? Now they're saying this is the technical tower of Babel, right? They said the digital tower represents the pinnacle of human achievement, where technology enables us to think and operate as one, overcoming the limitations of our individual minds and the barriers that separate us. Okay? It says, it said today, generative AI offer us the tools to build a new kind of tower, one that harnesses the collective, the intelligence and creative humanity, which, like we said, the Tower of Babel represents rebellion against Yahweh Bashim al-Shah, man. iShaw, he wants to be the Most High, man. Now he feels as he has the technology where he can actually do that, right? Be the God of this world, man. See, so they go into, AI, and when you go into that video, AI is gonna pretty much impact society in every way, whether it's healthcare, whether it's transportation, whether it's finance, whether it's manufacturing, right? Amazon and these different companies, they're gonna replace majority of their workforce with machines, man. And this is what iShaw wants to do, man. Right? Self-driving cars, everything, man. Controlled by AI, man. Right? This goes with that. Hold on. You had Larry Fink and Sam Altman, who was a part of Trump's Stargate AI, where they're able to discover diseases in your body early, and they can make certain juices specifically for your DNA. Okay? So certain jobs that they needed humans for, they can replace you with artificial intelligence, man. In all sectors of the economy, man. So this is where we, oh man, is getting, this is the beast. This is the beast system. This is the beast system. And let me get, oh yes, these 2 other articles. Before I forget, I'm going to get the precepts out, scriptures. Your brother sisters already posted this in community post a couple of weeks back. It says, pregnancy robots could give birth to human children in a revolutionary breakthrough and a game changer for infertile couples. Pregnancy robots? Right? And this is where over there in China. Right? This over there in China. Now, this article was today. It says, and I'm going to get that precept on China, 2nd is the 15th chapter. It says, Hot Mike picks up Putin and Z discussing organ transplants and immortality. Right? Because they just met up yesterday. I put that in a community post. How you call it? Kim Jong-un, Xi Jinping, and Vladimir Putin, right? And other world leaders, Iran, they also met up. And they had a hot mic where they were discussing organ transplants and the possibility of living forever. So all these, and this is all these nations buying into that, man. The new Tower of Babel, man. Artificial intelligence, AI, right? Trying to accomplish immortality. And like we said, it's ultimately rebellion against Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and his creation. Man feel that they can do it better. Okay? Now let me get everybody, let me get 2nd Ezra the 15th chapter. And let me get Ezekiel 28 after this. So proving that we at the end, man. We are at the end, man. That scripture says, 2nd Ezra concerning Asia, you Moabites, you Ammonites, right? The scripture says, 2nd Ezra 15:46, and thou, Asia, thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon and the art of glory of her person. Right? The scripture, because that whole 2nd Ezra the 5th chapter is also going into World War III as well. Right? And how the missiles are going to be shot on Babylon, man. It goes into that grievous, that star, which we know is going into the missiles. Right? And the scripture tells you that her smoke is going to go up. See? But also it says, Asia, you also want to be partaker. You want to imitate her glory, man. See, all these nations, they drinking the wine of Aisha, man. Right? All these nations are imitating the West. See? And that's what Revelation 18 chapter is going into. Nahum the 3rd chapter is going into. Right? Taking part in her sorcery, man. All the merchants of the earth. Well, I call it China's biggest clientele is America, man. Right? All these nations are in bed with her, man. Right? And they envy and trying to imitate her glory. See? And now they have China, which you're supposed to be from the East. You know, you're supposed to be promoting natural relationships. You're talking about, how you call it, pregnancy robots, man, to give birth to human children, man. So you also drink the wine of Babylon, man. And let me get Ezekiel the 28th chapter. But ultimately, Aisha, you know, you're going to fail, man. All right? Yahweh Shemel, this is all written anyway. That's what I'm going to get Ezekiel the 28th chapter, man. Let's get it. Right? You had guys break this down wrong. Those Genesis dudes. Right? This is talking about Aisha, man. Right? But it's talking about him metaphorically. All right? As the Prince of Tyrus, which was known for Tyre or Tyrus was known for their trade and their traffic. You know, a very rich maritime city across the Mediterranean, right? They manufacture all sorts of goods, exports, trade. That was Tyre. It was a wealthy city, man, which ultimately was fully destroyed by Alexander the Great. But Aisha today, he is the modern day Prince of Tyrus, right? And the scripture says what? Verse 2, Son of man, Ezekiel 20:2, say unto the Prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power, because thine heart is lifted up, and thou hast said, I am a power, a great power. I sit in the seat of the Most High. To go 2 Thessalonians. In the midst of the seas, yet thou art a man, and not the Most High. Thou set thine heart as the heart of the Most High, right? Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel, and we see what his technology he is. There's no secret that thou can hide from thee. He searches everything out, man. And that scripture says, with thy wisdom and thine understanding, thou hast gotten thee riches and gotten thee gold and silver into thy treasures, man. Right? Through his traffic. You know, most importantly, war, man. That's how Aisha got to where he's at, man. He's blessed with the sword, man. See, he's the sword of the earth. He's the sword that take away peace from the earth. And he bullied these nations, man. Hell, he supplanted the British Empire, man. Aisha, man. Right? Got nations to trade with the dollar, the petrodollar. See? So that's why the precept says, let's read on. Right? And that's how he was able to get rich, man. He's a great supplanter. He's a serpent. He is the serpent. Scripture says he was the wisest beast in the field of the world, and he is. All right. It says, verse 5, by thy great wisdom and by thy traffic has thou increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore, thus saith the Lord power, because they set in their heart as the heart of the Most High. Now, there's a point I want to get out. Let me jump on down. We did videos on Ezekiel 28 already. There's a point I want to get out, verse 14. It says, thou art the anointed cherub that covereth. Okay? So it's talking about it metaphorically. Aishah, he is a cherub. But you know, a cherub is to cover. When you go into the Ark of the Covenant, the Most High is present with show up between the two cherubims on the mercy seat, right? Was also a cherub that blocked us from getting access to the tree of life, right? Aishah, he is also an anointed cherub on the left-hand side. He's set up to block you from what? The truth, man. That's his job, man. Should say he is the father of lies, man. Should calls him the prince of the power of the air. Right? It says, I have set thee so that was upon the holy mountain of the Most High, that has walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. Which we know ultimately that's going into the people of Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. We're that holy mountain. So Aishah, he's ruling over us right now. And he is that anointed cherub. That's when you read Revelation, the 13th chapter. Let me get that. So scripture says by his traffic, same thing in Revelation 18th chapter, Nahum, Zechariah the 9th chapter. That's Aishah, man. They ain't talking about no ancient Phoenician. Remember, Genesis said that's them guys is off, man. Aishah is that anointed cherub. All right. He's set up to deceive. And he's going to deceive who? Revelation the 13th chapter. Let's get it. Right? Let's get it, man. It says, let's see. Verse 8. Let's go. It says, and this is going into what? The beast, right? Which came back as the dragon, right? The rebirth of the Roman Empire. Okay. It says, and you know, also this technocracy, man. I got to do another video, man. Continuing on this, man. This AI surveillance state, man. Right? He's making it. That's why he's making it seem like he's subtle. He's making it seem like it's a good thing. Through the technology, through health, through manufacturing. Nah, man. Self-improvement. You can get smarter a lot faster, learn different languages. It's about control. Okay. And that's what the scripture says, Revelation verse 13, verse 8. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him. They gonna buy into it. Whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. So he is that anointed cherub. Scripture says, if you're not written in the book of life, you will worship this man, man. You will take his MOTB. You will bow down to his image, his science, his technology, man. Okay? Now, these people, they going to buy into it, man. Okay? So, this is, like we said, man, this is the end game. This is the end game, man. Let me get a couple more precepts. But ultimately, Aishah, you're going to fail. You are going to fail, man. All right, that's why the scripture says Psalm chapter 2, verse 1. And let me get 2nd Ezra, the 13th chapter. So he's creating his new Tower of Babel. He thinks he's going to challenge Yahweh Bashem Yahshua. He got his Space Force and a Tesla X or whatever. All that shit is going to fail, man. See? So that's what scripture says, classic Psalms 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? That's vanity. Even G. Ping and them other heathens talking about immortality and organ harvesting. Right? And Klaus Schwab talked about that. Okay? Uploading their consciousness to some other body suit so they can live forever. You devils are out of your mind, man. That's you imagining a vain thing. The kings of the earth, this whole NWO and this great re, that's all vanity, which you are going to set it up to some degree, but ultimately you're going to fail. Scripture says, as you're about to fill your belly, World War III is going to spiral out of control. Okay? And the men of Yahweh Shemel Shah gonna get lifted up, man. That's standard. All right. The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against Yahweh Shemel Shah and against his anointed, saying, us. Right. So this is them taking counsel against Yahweh Shemel Shah and his anointed. But who's gonna break your will? In the same Psalms, the second chapter, it goes into it. The son of Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. Let's get 2nd Ezra's, the 13th chapter, man. So all the precepts flow. Let me get 2nd Ezra's. 2nd Ezra's 13. Let's see where it is. There we go. 2nd Ezra's 13:37. It says, and he's 2nd Ezra 13:37. It said, and this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into tempests, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts and the torments wherewith. See, they're wicked inventions, man. Right? They going, like back then, the Lord confounded, well, he gonna send his son back to destroy all of that, man. Okay? World War III gonna spiral out of control, and he's gonna give the finishing blow, man. So none of you nations gonna rule. You're not gonna live forever. You're not gonna set up this dystopia world from here on out, talking about 2050 and all that crazy stupid shit. That's not gonna happen. Yahweh Shai is gonna rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into tempests, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts and their torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, with the missiles and the laser from those chariots, which are like unto a flame, and he shall destroy them without labor by the law, which is like unto me. Okay, so Yahweh Shai is going to destroy all of that. Let's jump back to Psalms, the 2nd chapter. Right? When you read Psalms 2 on down, right? It says, verse 4, I'm going to jump. He that sitteth in the heavens shall laugh, the Lord shall have them in derision. He's going to have you in derision. Okay? How he's going to destroy, verse 7. I will declare the decree. Yahweh Shemel Shah have said, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee heathen for thine inheritance, at the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. So the Lord, the Father, is going to send his son back to reign on the planet earth, man. And you heathens are going to be his possession and his people, man. That's the kingdom of heaven, man. So you imagining a vain thing with this new Tower of Babel, with this whole AI, artificial intelligence. Yahweh Shai is coming back to destroy all of it, man. Right? Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessels. All right? It says, be wise now, therefore, ye kings. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Serve Yahweh Shemel Shah with fear and rejoice with trembling. Kiss the Son, capital S. Okay? Lest he be angry. And as for us, we got to worship the Son. We got to exalt the Son. And he perished from the way when his wrath is kindled but a little. Blessed are they that put their trust in him. It's right there in the Old Testament tell you to worship the Son, but you got idiots, other Israelites. We don't worship Yahweh Shai. Dumbasses, man. Right? So the heathen, they could rage, come up with all these vain imaginations, these wicked inventions. Yahweh Shai is coming back to destroy y'all, man. All right? Call him La Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. And he going to share the kingdom with his brothers, man. So ultimately, this is going to fail. Right? But we have to endure this as well. Right? Because it's going to get, he's coming with the censorship, all the different surveillance. Right? Like the videos on the whole Stargate AI, all of that. Digital currency, all of that stuff, man. He wants to come with all of it. But ultimately, it's going to fail. Yahweh Shai is going to come, destroy this man. And like the scripture says, let me read one more precept. Sir, the 10th chapter. So like Nimrod failed, you're going to fail as well. You're not going to accomplish it, man. Who gave you that technology? Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. Oh, man. Like he told Moses, who made man's mouth, man? Like, who created man? I did, man. See? Like you said, Isaiah, let me get Isaiah 45:9. Bringing these precepts out to probably Yahweh Shemel Shah. It says, woe unto him that striveth with his maker, Let the potsherd strive with the potsherds of the earth. Shall the clay say to him that fashioned it, why makest thou? Or thy work he have no hands? That's foolish. A clay can't tell a potter why the hell you shape me this way, man. So man can't strive with his maker. And this is what Aisha is trying to do. He's trying to strive with the creator, and he think he accomplished something with his whole artificial intelligence, man. Right? But ultimately, it's not going to work, man. Right? And I'm going to read one more precept, Sirach, the 10th chapter. And I'm going to close this out, man. Right? Sirach chapter 10. And all this technology is detrimental to the planet. He's going to end up destroying himself. That's why he has to be taken out of the way. Okay, and that's why the scripture says, Sirach chapter 10, verse 4, the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. Starting with his son Yahweh Shai on down, man. See? And people going to tap into the earth again, man. This whole artificial nonsense is stupidity. Artificial wombs, fake food, right? Oh, this is nonsense, man. VR, this, that. You gonna have AI girlfriends, all this crazy shit, man. That's why we need salvation, man. All right. So, hopefully this lesson was edifying. Let's say, Koholayim La, Yahweh Bashim Al Shah, Shalom.